Hey, and thank you for visiting my review of Mayfair Witches. On a depressing note, the penultimate episode of Season 1 gets started. Due to Lasher's participation, Scotland, where Cyprian is trapped, is in disarray. When Rowan thinks she could be safe, she has a vision and realizes that her recent agony is a result of being pregnant. She assumes it is Cyprian's child, but might it be Lasher's? After being abducted in the woods, Tessa is being held captive and frightened for her life at the headquarters of political radical Arlo Whittle. Tessa is aware that Keith is frail as he keeps a close check on the tied and gagged Mayfair. Though he comes out of it and remembers his new purpose, she tries to flirt with him and put him under her spell. When Rowan unexpectedly drops by Tessa's home, Alicia, who is visibly shaken, responds to him. The fact that Rowan hasn't returned to San Francisco seems a little strange to her. Rowan explores the house as Alicia goes to retrieve Tessa. Strangely, there are fake flower petals all over the house, and a rich chocolate lava cake is set out for what appears to be a date. Rowan is caught eating the icing by Tessa's younger sister Daphne, which is quite awkward. Tessa is nowhere to be found, but Alicia isn't too concerned because she presumably went to a friend's house. Rowan is determined to find her, but Alicia finds that odd and doesn't want Rowan getting involved. Once more overcome by sickness, Rowan leaves and pukes in the restroom. Keith talks about his boss to a captive Tessa at Creeper Central. He wishes he had the problem that she earns more money than him but usually leaves early for dates. Tessa wants him to unmask her so she can see his face since she can see he's desperate. He receives a meeting request from Arlo just as he is ready to free her. Keith is the star since he won Tessa and Deirdre's affection. The idea is to use fire, the element most feared by witches, to frighten her with the possibility of death. It appears that we have identified the perpetrator of these burnings. Tessa is crying within the cage while holding the necklace and trying to contact Lasher, but he is nowhere to be found. Don't forget about Cyprian, who is still associated with Scotland in the 1600 seconds. The Talamasca healer Arjuna, who is attempting to jolt him out of the flashback and back into the present, speaks to him. She explains that since he no longer has the necklace he used to enter the memory, returning is challenging. In the meantime, Rowan describes Tessa's visit to her as she was angry over men on the internet who had literally stolen Deirdre's heart to the Mayfairs who had gathered at Tessa's home. The gang is upset that Tessa went to Rowan first, but they realize it was because Rowan was connected to Lasher at the moment and was the designee. Rowan is too responsible for Tessa's absence, according to Alicia, who claims that Lasher is still with her despite the transference and couldn't have helped Tessa in the woods because of that. Flory, who can see Cyprian in the recollection, commands him to follow her. The Mayfair women and Cortland make an effort to get Tessa's attention. According to Jojo, Tessa's situation appeared hopeless in her vision. To try to see Tessa, they call on a scry by the name of Alonso, but he explains that the signal is muddled since there are too many blood ties. In an effort to find her mother's heart, which is probably with Tessa, Rowan offers to offer a blood sacrifice of her own. Fortunately, Rowan's blood signal is powerful, and Tessa's location is identified on the map. Rowan's pregnancy is detected by Dolly Jean, who informs Cortland. Rowan responds that it's her fault she's out there and wants to put things right when Alicia complains that she's leading the rescue effort. In Scotland, Suzanne, who has gone into full witch mode, encounters Cyprian. She is donning the notorious jewelry that Cyprian must remove from memory. Lasher, who is lurking in the cottage shadows, snorts at their ignorance. Divide and conquer is how the Mayfairs operate, with Jojo giving the group direction. Cortland threatens to bring in Lasher, but Rowan makes him back off by looking directly into his eyes. Jojo becomes alarmed by this, and Rowan tells her to stick with the ailing Cortland. Cyprian thinks he is inside Lasher's memories and that Lasher brought him there as he begins to put some of the puzzle pieces together. As is his wont, Lasher informs him that Cyprian caused this and that Rowan is expecting. Despite Cyprian's denials, Lasher is upset that he is trying to domesticate Rowan. Lasher agrees that, indeed, Rowan's power makes him strong as well, but he claims that he is merely fulfilling Rowan's wishes. Whether or not she realizes it, they are bonded. He claims that Cyprian shouldn't be associated with Rowan in any way, but Cyprian has always seemed attracted to the Mayfairs ever since he was a young boy, and would pass the mansion on his walks. Cyprian is left in the dark and confused by Lasher. Tessa should be checked on by someone. At the headquarters of the Extreme, she is bound and hung. Well, so why exactly are they so hostile toward the Mayfairs? The group's female member, Carrie Cahill, tells Tessa that she and her husband used to work at Mayfair Auto Parts, which is located in the eerily deserted building in which they are now. But the Mayfairs outsourced the job, leaving them without a job or health insurance. Additionally, she claims that Tessa indirectly benefited from their daughter receiving chemotherapy at the Mayfairs medical facility. It appears that Tessa won't be receiving any support from anyone anytime soon. In the real world, Cyprian is still alive but not doing well. In the recollection, he intentionally poisoned himself with henbane, so when he wakes up, he promptly throws up. Jojo challenges Cortland on his belligerent behavior, but he ignores her. Cortland calls Albrecht at the Talamasca and tells him that Rowan is pregnant, which is a startling change of events. Albrecht declares without wasting a beat that he would take care of it. Also, he claims that they are keeping a watch on the Knights of Brotherhood gathering, which may have served as the catalyst for this entire incident. Albrecht and Cyprian go out to find Rowan after Cyprian informs them that he is concerned about her, even though Albrecht doesn't appear to be in a hurry. Oh, it all starts to make sense now. Albrecht stops, tosses the car keys over the bridge, and calmly informs Cyprian that the Talamasca is not necessary there to intervene and offer assistance, but rather to wait and observe. When Cyprian learns that Cortland and Albrecht are really on Lasher's side, he feels utterly betrayed. If Rowan follows Albrecht's prediction, she will fulfill a prophecy from the past, ushering in a new era. If Tessa doesn't demonstrate her magic to the Mayfair hunters, she will be burned alive. Arlo authorizes the burning of her alive when she denies being a witch. As they prepare to do so, Rowan enters and uses her mind powers to kill the team. Despite being shot, she succeeds in freeing Tessa from her bind. Tessa gives the jewelry back to Rowan just as she is set free. Keith then shoots Tessa in the neck as he flees from the ensuing inferno. Rowan holds Tessa as she bleeds out and passes away as the show comes to a close. Rowan puts on the necklace, yells out, and calls for Lasher while covered in blood and enraged. Do not forget to follow, like, and share.